So, good morning or good night, depending on where you're in the world, and welcome to another album review of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're talking about a very anticipated album. It's the new album from Spiritbox, and it's called Tsunami Sea, and it's 11 songs, 43 minutes in length, and it's the follow-up to their debut record that came out way back in 2021, Eternal Blue, and then they had an EP after this. So yeah, this is a band that obviously they're very well known. Their singer Courtney LaPlante has like a very like distinctive voice, and she's like the face of this band. So yeah, highly anticipated record nonetheless, and they dropped like 4 singles before the album release. They've been dropping them here and there, and I was enjoying what I was listening to. I heard some like modern metalcore djent sounds with some more experimentation with electronics. That is something that they have done in the past, but I think it blends better into this new batch of songs that they just released this Friday. So yeah, so this album, there's like a running theme or concept. So this album explores themes of change and how inevitable it is. Change is inevitable. And the complexities of returning to one's home after experiencing significant changes. And something that this album does, even in the music videos, like water is a constant theme on this record. This is a band from Victoria, Canada, and they used to live like in an island, so they're surrounded by water. So I think the metaphor of water is used to represent from where they come from. And also water, it can be seen as, when you bathe yourself, water cleanses. So I think they're using that analogy of water as, water is constantly moving, it's constantly changing. In the sea it can be calm, and 1 minute it could be like aggressive or a tsunami. So I think they use Tsunami Sea to explaining like how like changes are like that. They're always coming and going, and you can't run away from changes. So yeah, pretty cool concept to the record. So yeah, the album has 11 tracks, and those I'm gonna there's some tracks to me that stood out more than others. For example, one of the tracks that it's really unique is No Loss, No Love. This is track number 8 on the record, and this one has some very aggressive vocals, but then it has some like spoken word where Courtney LaPlante is just talking, and she does this over a drum and beat bass, like very like trip hop, like that music that came out in the 90s. And I like it because then they do that and they go with the aggressive. And this is a very shorter track, and I got to admit, when I first listened to this track, it was kind of a grower for me. I didn't like it at first, but every time I've listened to it more, it's really grown on me, and it's really unique sounding. One of the songs that they released as a single that I think is like classic Spiritbox sounding, and this song would have not been out of place on Eternal Blue, is Perfect Soul. Courtney LaPlante really sings her heart out on this song. There's some very melodic, djent type of riffing to it, with that modern production that makes it sound not perfect, because for this album the band did do some electronics, but they didn't do a lot of changes in the vocals, so it's not all pristine all the time. But I think that this is a great track, a great song. Then you have the album starts with 2 tracks that are more aggressive, but they incorporate electronics seamlessly, like Fata Morgana and Black Rainbow. Both songs have some great riffing, and I know the guitar player for this band, his name escaped me, but I know he did produce this album with someone else, and I know he's married to Courtney. I think he's pretty good at doing some memorable riffing that can be hard but also kind of melodic at the same time. So those 2 songs are a perfect example. You have songs like another single that they released, Soft Spine, that's more in the aggressive side of things, and some great djenti guitars. Courtney LaPlante here screams like where she's like soft spine, and you know, she has that range and versatility in her vocals that she can do clean singing, she can do more harsher, and she can even do like some like singing that complements electronics. So yeah, kudos to her. So that one's great. But I think my favorite two songs on the record are actually Tsunami Sea and Ride the Wave. So Tsunami Sea has some. This one is Courtney LaPlante really sings on this song. Hits those high notes, and it's a really beautiful song. And I think on this one, I haven't delved into the lyrics, but it sounds like she's talking about, you know, like those waves of emotions and changes, and using the tsunami to represent like maybe changes in the mind or changes in your life, and how you are like battling that tsunami all the time. So great track. And the other one I mentioned, Ride the Wave, the beginning of that track sounds very Depeche Mode. I was like, yeah, I like this, but then it gets very aggressive in nature. And you know, I think that song is all about like riding the changes, like ride the wave, man. You know, changes are gonna happen. You either go with them or you get washed up. So another great track. And yeah, they end the album also with Deep End, which is a shorter track, more clean vocals. This is more alternative sounding, and it has like a very beautiful soft ending with some soft guitars. They gave it a very nice thing to it. Other tracks on the record, like Crystal Roses, are more heavily infused with electronics, and very like not like a dance song, but those electronics really are in the forefront, along with the djenti type of guitars. So I felt like other songs on the album, like Keep Sweet, had a good mesh of heavy and clean vocals, and again some electronics into it. And I have it with Two Faces, also a great track that is a little bit more mellower and more singing, but I think Tsunami Sea to me was a little bit better. But yeah, 11 tracks. I didn't find any track that I thought would be weak. I like how everything sounds on this record, and I like the analogy of like battling changes in your life and using like the metaphor of the sea to explain that. So yeah, I think Spiritbox is a great band. And if you like Eternal Blue and what they've done, you will like this. The star of the show to me is Courtney LaPlante. She's just an amazing vocalist. And she can also sing some songs that can be more on like a pop side of things. Like she could sing pop music easily, but she chooses to do more growls, and even in the clean vocals, it's always more in the metal type of realm. But yeah, her voice is one of the highlights, and I think I like the guitars on this album. And I think this album, even though I did enjoy Eternal Blue, I think this album is a more cohesive album. And also on Eternal Blue, they had some guest stars. On this album, there's no guest vocals, so it's just Spiritbox. And I think it's good, so that, you know, they don't need anyone else to make them shine. So yeah, Tsunami Sea is out this Friday. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of this album? Comment down below what are your favorite tracks, and if you like the videos, you know, give me a like, share with friends to help the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.